Alright, thank you for joining us. Let's stop smiling and dancing. Military operations. Loud calls in the last year for a change of military office chief in Nigeria appear to have ended with the announcement a few days ago of a new town. An aggregation of the numerous reactions to the new team to be led by war veteran Lucky Irobo shows that the idea of bringing the team on board at this point in time is purposeless and well received. A few people, including this writer, are still appreciative and apprehensive of the efficacy of Nigerian security architecture. To start with, our leaders numerously imagine that national security begins and ends with defense and military might. Well, why not adapting the reality of civil strife as a daily feature of Nigerians' heterogeneous and disparate communities? National security must be better understood to include our crucial areas such as job security and indeed food security. Otherwise, a national security policy would be of no use to the unemployed, hungry, and poor citizens that constitute the majority of the people. Alright, our primary error is that brief that the national several changes can be revealed through Webguri and welfare. A secondary one is the expectation that General Irobo's group is so solid that it will shortly stabilize Nigeria. As a result, persons to many manpower development programs of the military. I can testify that the top hierarchy of our armed forces is occupied by many exceptionally brilliant and pragmatic followers. Indeed, the outgoing team of service chiefs is not inferior to the incoming one in knowledge, skills, and professionalism. They are all well trained, but I wholeheartedly support the change of guard because of my strong persuasion that no one is independently and that an overstretched actual ought to give way to a new one for the purpose of policy refreshing. I'm however unable to agree with those who think that the problem of the Nigerian military are located only in the leadership cadre. Those who belong to that school of thought are akin to junior military officers who are correctly rejecting leadership change military or simply because they are not sufficiently taught enough to know that leadership is a dependent variable. Alright, as ample research there has shown, the ability of leadership to perform any function is conditional or conditioned by several factors such as the nature of fellowship as well as the relevant organizational environment. In the Nigerian environment, for example, top office holder faced by far too many unnecessary distractions. In the case of new service chiefs, they have to pray not to be exalted before they are sworn in. First, the new service chiefs? Are they really the new service chief? If so, how come they are yet to be declared by the legislature? Although our National Assembly is currently married to the executive, a few rascally legislators may frustrate the clearance of any of the nominees. Is such a thought not capable of diminishing one's zeal? Second, why many are congregating or congratulating them? Social media is already replete with negative but fake stories about them. Alright, interestingly, none of the things published about General Lucky Irobo, the incoming chief of defense staff, either about his origin or religion, is true. We, the authors of such and the reporters of not utilize other tools of blackmail if the social media option doesn't work. Yet, Irobo is the same war hero who appointment, if it were in other claim, who would have been celebrated across abroad. Besides, in recent times, no societal institution has been more distracted more than the military. What are their real functions? A rational answer is that today many of their assignments are not in any way close to what the military does elsewhere. A cursory look at their prevailing function would show that in the last decade they have been fighting an uncontroversial war with insurgents. With crisis over banditry in parts of our country, they were asked to also control that. Suddenly, kidnapping on our highways became rampant, so we called them in immediately. At the point we called them into the NSAS protest because the excellent organization put up by Nigerian youth beat everyone hands down. So some of our leaders thought only the military could match the chiefs. Alright, lest I forget, they are now and again called to get involved with elections, even though the current ruling party now calling them to do so. Won a court case because becoming into power, in which it was decided that the military must never be called into an election process. Lastly, as part of general duty, the military, especially the army, now shown up at checkpoints along with the police. Alright, in the process of this humanist job, the military, especially soldiers, have had to conduct several cold operations in different parts of the country. A national newspaper, Daily Trust, which has followed the development, was able to list about 40 such cold operations. As the newspaper revealed, despite giving various operations or exercises different names, the approach, manpower, and the equipment being developed were almost the same. Hence, the outcome hardly comes or makes any difference. It is not only the sheer number of operations that is worrisome. The image of our armed force is also substantially derogated from by the little of the operations. The most obvious of them all are crocodile Ismail and the python dance. Even if the house or the use of code names is a professional strategy, the failure to end the insurgency in the north is always instigated public radical for an army that was feasibly disputing energies in operations within civilian areas instead of the Sambisa forest. Alright, some amazing wonders what our soldiers were doing with Operation Positive Identification among local people, an operation that can easily become harmful because of desperately in military and civil dispositions. From the names of some of the code operations, the military was certainly undertaking functions of other societal bodies, and most obvious being the police. Some of the code names were Operation Sharan Darji, designed to clear the bushes where criminals were hiding. Operation Ebu Ekwe, but are put in place to fight crimes like cultism. Operation 777, aimed at dealing with kidnapping, robbery, and related criminal activities. And Operation Adilogu, which literally means Operation Dance for Peace. A continuation of this operation by the military would not just reflect a distraction to their main job, it is capable of rendering other bodies redundant. For some time now, there have been calls by many citizens, including the NSAS protesters, for government to improve the condition of service of police operative. I beg your pardon. Only last week, the Police Service Commission (PSC) announced the promotion of 20,356 senior police officers. Among them, nine commissioners of police promoted to the next rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police (AIG), while another 9 were promoted from the rank of Deputy Commissioner to Commissioner of Police (CP). So why do we need the police if their functions are being done by the army? Well, wishing that General Ilabo, Atiku, Gombo, and the Amwa would be the lucky team of service chiefs that could stabilize Nigeria. They no doubt need to hate the distractions of coded names for ancillary functions by the military, whose success in their main function have in more than a decade remained in short. Alright, these have been taken. What is your take on this? And then do not forget to subscribe for more updates coming from this channel. Remember, this is Blessed Be World News and Entertainment. Thank you and God bless.